The cloud was so dark that nobody could see inside it. And when it...
I should have never let them go on that picnic.
This is such a colossal bummer. Poor parents.
I know, right? They were really sad.
You can say that again.
Just then, the king's 2 generals arrived.
Never fear.
But we are here.
I saved your daughters,
Saved from slaughter.
so don't you worry.
For awful scurry.
Are you doing that on purpose?
For what purpose?
Rhyming with everything I say.
Maybe.
Well, stop it.
Okay.
Point, the whole kingdom was getting pretty worried about what happened to the princesses. Then one day, the king's most faithful and devoted servant, a man named Bensuratu, sought an audience with the king and queen.
Our daughters are still missing.
I am never going to stop being upset about this.
Your Majesty.
Oh, hello, Bensurdatu. Hello, Ben. How can I help you?
I would like to request your permission to go on quest to rescue the missing princesses.
But we've already lost 3 daughters, not to mention 2 of our very best generals.
And I couldn't bear the thought of losing you too. My most faithful, trusted, and capable servant.
Well, I'm pretty sure I can bring them back.
Oh. Well, then you can just go right ahead. I mean, who really cares what I think? I mean, it's not like I'm the king around here.
Just be careful, dear.
So Bensuratu set out to rescue the princesses. On his way, he stopped at an inn for something to eat.
Innkeeper, I'm a servant of the king. I need to eat something before my long journey.
Hey!
Sir, can I swipe up with the drink?
Yes. What are you doing here?
Bensuratu!
We almost forgot you.
Put it with the rhymes.
Hey.
Why aren't the 2 of you looking for the missing princesses?
Well, we were doing that, but then we stopped here for a bit to rest.
And we haven't quite hit off on tab
So
yet.
now we're working here until we can take off our tab.
So how much money do you owe?
17.
$1,000.
How did you manage to spend $17,000 in an inn? It's
A long story.
Forget it, I don't even want to know.
Anyway, Bensuratu paid off the 2 generals' tab with the badge of gold from the king's treasury, and the 2 generals joined him on his quest. They found out from an old woman that the princesses were being held captive at the bottom of a river. That doesn't make any sense. Imagine, don't have to explain. You of all people ought to appreciate that.
Oh, look, there it is. Oh, the river the old woman told us about. I've got enough room in my pack to load one of us down at a time.
Great. I'll go first, since I'm the oldest.
All right, tie this around your waist. There's a horn attached to it. If you need us to pull you up, blow that horn.
Great. Got it. Time to go save some princesses. Ah.
So he jumped into the water, but as soon as his head disappeared below the surface, he heard terrible crashes that sounded like thunder, and he got scared.
Oh my gosh. It's scary down there.
You may be older, but I'm much braver.
Go ahead.
Come on. What? I'm not ashamed to admit when I want my mommy.
All right, you 2 wait here. I'll be back with the princesses.
As soon as he reached the bottom, Bensuratu found a cave, and there was the oldest princess.
Yes.
And a sleeping giant.
No.
You call that a giant?
Just use your imagination.
All right, princess. I'm going to chop off the giant's head, and then you'll be free.
I smell a man's flesh.
Oh, don't be silly. How can man ever get down here? Just go back to sleep.
Okay.
So Bensuratu lifted his sword and cut off the giant's head.
Yes, I did.
I don't know where you are. Now, the next time you will find my first sister, who you to be free.
Got it. Go back the way I came. My companions will pull you ashore.
Don't be silly. You're down here. Go back to sleep.
I also thought I heard my sister's head being cut off.
Oh, that was me. I was just practicing my, go back to sleep.
It's too easy.
You say the Bensuratu. I'll give you my crown.
Thank you.
The next chamber is my younger sister, but you must not try to rescue her. She's guarded by a fierce seven-headed lizard.
Don't worry, I'll worry about the lizard.
So the brave Bensuratu moved on to the last chamber. Bensuratu!
Damn it, stop. I wish you told me how cool he was going to be.
Sorry.
Very well then, have at you. What you gonna do?
You saved me. Here, I'll give you my crown.
Thank you.
And as soon as we return to the castle, I'll marry you.
All in all, not a bad day, I'd say. You go back up and back in. When you're up there, throw it down the road so that we'll return home together.
No, I beg of you, you go first.
Why?
Because I'm afraid your companions may take my sisters and I home, leaving you here with the dead giant and the lizards and no means of escape.
Oh no, these guys wouldn't do that.
But I've got such a bad feeling about this.
No, ladies first.
Very well. But know this, if you don't come back up after me, I vow I shall never marry again!
Well, since I'm pretty positive that won't happen, we won't have to worry about that.
Just a minute later, the two generals were pulling the third princess to safety.
All right, that looks like everyone.
No, Bensuratu.
We really ought to pull that guy up.
Yeah, but we already have the 3 princesses. We can just take them back and say we rescued him. The other guy died or something.
Yeah.
No, we'll tell our father the truth.
Well, if you do, we'll kill you. So, you guys understand? Good. Tie them up. Let's go. Shoot. She's right.
There wasn't really much you could do about it. You just took out the dead lizard and the other giant, and he just lived in the cave for a while.
So fat.
Meanwhile, the two generals took the 3 princesses home, and the 2 oldest daughters were forced to marry the generals. But the youngest kept her vow and never married anybody. Then one day, much later on, Bensuratu noticed something new appear in his watery home.
Hello, who's this?
What do you want?
I beg your pardon?
What do you want? I'm trying to grant you wishes.
Well, thanks, Magic Talking Purse. How about you get me back up on dry land?
Your wish is my command.
And just like that, Bensuratu is back on dry land.
Nice.
Just wait a minute. I simply have to issue a protest.
What? Why?
You can't simply rescue a stranded hero with no hope of escape by simply giving him a magic wish-granting purse.
What? So my magic purse is bad, but your magic plan makes perfect sense?
Yes, that's... Well, no what? You can't... Well, it's an ugly purse anyway.
Hey, I heard that. Anyway, there Bensuratu was, back on dry land.
So, do you wish for anything else?
How about a ship we sail back in? And can you make me king too?
Your wish is my command.
Suddenly, a great ship trimmed in gold sails up, and on the sides were the words, "The King with 3 crowns." Bensuratu climbed aboard and sailed home. A few days later, the whole royal family was gathered in the throne room. Look, a ship is coming.
Ship? And wow, what a ship. There has to be a king on board.
There is, look, there he is.
He looks good.
Greetings, everyone. I'm the king with 3 crowns.
Didn't anybody know who he was?
Well, by this point, he'd been gone so long that nobody recognized him, especially now that he's a king, since, when he left, he wasn't one.
Please stay and dine with us. We'll have a feast.
I'd love to.
So they feasted, and the whole kingdom celebrated for a whole week. Every chance he got, Bensuratu sat by the king's youngest daughter, but she never recognized him. Finally, at the end of the week, Bensuratu asked the king for her hand in marriage.
I understand, Your Highness, and I would love to give my daughter over to you to be your wife, but she's a little stubborn on the whole fact of marriage.
Well, maybe I should ask her myself.
Sure, good luck.
Princess, will you marry me?
Well, I do admit that you are irresistibly handsome. Charming and kind and manly. But I have made a vow to never love and never marry, so no.
Would you marry me if my name were Bensuratu? Uh-oh. I think it's time for us to beat it.
Before lessons are completed!
Oh, stop with the rhymes.
Oh, Daddy! We have something to tell you.
So the two wicked generals were banished from the kingdom forever.
Bye.
And Bensuratu married the youngest daughter, and everybody who wasn't a jerk lived happily ever after. The end. Well, fairy godmother, what did you think of that?
Well, it did have heroism
Yeah.
and romance
Mm-hmm.
and adventure.
Definitely.
But what did they learn?
I don't know, but in Sleeping Beauty learned. Stay away from pokey things.
Well,
Don't you think that sometimes a story doesn't have to have a moral? I mean sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. Isn't it okay for a story to be just fun?
happily ever after. And in the end, that's all that matters, isn't it?
Now you're getting it. Well, folks, there you have it.
That's all?
Well, that's all for right now. I mean, there are tons of other fairy tales you've probably never even heard, but we don't have that much time today.
Oh, I see. Yes, well, perhaps you and I might go and grab a cup of tea, and we can swap some more stories?
Sounds good to me. Have you ever heard the one about the princess who transformed into a large, hairy, fighting man when she drank a magic potion?
That sounds utterly, unbelievably disgusting. Tell me more.
I'm going to let you take pictures, I promise. But let me hand out some things first. One